Online, good morning. They'll join.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, very good.
Good morning, sir.
I think all of you are getting happy that this guy will not come to see us again. So, all of you trying to be nice to me, right? Today.
Nothing like that, sir.
No,
Nothing like. Okay. Okay, good. Happy to hear from that. Acha, all of you, have you uploaded your second assignment?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Not all of you. Many of you still left out. And tell your friends. Ask them to upload it today itself, so that by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I complete your assignment. First assignment, all of you got the grades. Okay, grades? No fail marks? No fail, nah. 24, 25 minimum?
Yes, sir. 24.
24, 25, and it goes up to 28. So 25 is also good mark, right? Out of 30, 25 is 26 should be there. Okay, chalo. 27. Then why not 30? Okay, since all of you are eager, let a few more people join. We'll discuss about the question pattern. Okay. What else? After the question pattern, what are we going to do? 3 hours you have to spend. Case study, right? So I want to discuss, we never discussed more on the IR part of it. Okay. I want to discuss with you, yesterday also your B section, we had that Manesar Maruti strike case only. I want to discuss the same only. So in case we are waiting for 5 minutes, why don't you people start reading that case, which is already in the LMS. Or I think yesterday they shared in the group also, WhatsApp group. Online student, please start reading that one, Maneshar one. It's a very good case. And I already, you don't have to discuss and analyze the case study. I will do it on your behalf. But at least read that case study. Just have a, concept clarity. Then I'll tell you. We'll do that. Then I'll give you questionnaire. Don't worry. And all of you will get good marks. Don't worry. Try to learn something. Today also you should learn about the IR little bit. Please share it with the big A group also. Yeah. Shared it? All of you, you must have got in your WhatsApp also. Case study on Maneshar. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Please study for 15-20 minutes here.
Okay. Come on, madams, go through that Maneshar case study. It's 18 page. It's not that difficult like a text. And you don't have to stress in reading. Just go through it casual. I'll explain everything. Online students, you got it, na? Maneshar case study?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please read it for 10-15 minutes, then I'll discuss. I'll discuss with that and I'll also give you questions. Don't worry, okay? And I'll also assure all of you will pass with the good marks. Right? That's all you want, na?
Thank you, sir.
So far you got good marks in assignment. Exam paper also you'll get good marks. Only do me a favor, don't write more, right? Write to the point, write simple. Okay, don't try to be very enthusiastic, write more and make my life miserable. I'm taking care of your life, you take care of my life, okay? Write less legibly with the right margins, question number, section A, section B and things like that, so that it's easy for me to look at it. And like I was telling your other section yesterday, since it is not anymore online correction, we have to go to the examination hall. We will get locked inside. I have to sit and correct 120 papers. Sitting from home correcting, online it's easy. Morning you correct 10, lunchtime correct 10, evening correct 10. Now it cannot be done like that. You have to come to the hall and they will make our entry and lock it inside, like the way you get it locked, punishment will get it. Then only have to correct it. So there you start with section A, then go to section B, then section B, 2 questions, then come to section A. Please don't do all those things. Start A, complete A. Start B, complete B. When you write A, also given the margin, exactly question number. So that I don't have to really bother to read your thing. See that and give the marks in the column. Correct it. And if you confuse me, then I get confused. I hope online students clear. Exam, guidance.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Yes, sir.
please don't have to write much, just write bulleted points. Give a clear-cut direction of section A, B, the margin, which question and things like that, so that I'll just see casually and keep giving marks.
Noted, sir.
Done. Yeah. Now read for 15-20 minutes, read this one. I'll explain you IR today. The background is that there was a big strike happened in Maruti Suzuki Limited. It's at a place called Manesar in Haryana. It's not very old, it's very recent, 2012 or 13. In the strike took to such a turn, they've killed the VPHR in the plant. Half a dozen people's hand and leg they broken, the workers. And every day they were losing 75 crore rupees worth of revenue. Just a small IR issue which sparked into that level. That is what this case study is about. Now, if you read it, I'll tell you, is it, could you have avoided that incident? Could you have prevented that one? Or no, you could not have prevented. Or if you could not have prevented, how you should have handled it. Whether they handled properly, they still aggravated that. That I'll tell you in detail. Just by going through this case study, you will very well understand how to handle this industrial dispute or a strike in a professional, matured manner. Here they took it in a knee-jerking, reactive manner, in an arrogant, that I know better, I know management. That's why they lost so much. Just go through it with this background. I'll tell you in a brief. In 1982, this company was formed, Maruti Udyog Limited, through Rajiv Gandhi's initiative. Till that time, there was no car which is equivalent to international car. We had only Ambassador and Fiat and things. Maruti 800 was the first car introduced that time. Okay, and the collaboration was Suzuki and all this. 1982 started, it went up to 2000 very well. The problem started brewing 2000 onwards, minor, though it was initially Japanese management. 2000, the new government, NDA government, thought of de-investing. So they wanted to, do some sort of here and there. The problem started. As long as it was going through totally Suzuki Japan, though it was a new culture, but Haryana kind of people very well adjusted. There was no issue between 1980 to 2000 rupees, though there should have been an issue because you guys studied a lot about cultural issues and things like that. There's no issue. The issue started when we are in the same culture. When Indians started interfering in 2000, 2012 it sparked. 2013, very nasty incident, getting people killed in the plant. I don't think last 20 years anywhere this kind of incident happened. So there we'll understand why it happened. Whether one could have avoided it or not avoided it. Or not avoided it, when the incident happened, how you should have handled it. What was its internal issues, what were external issues. And what is the learning from this case study for any HR guys to take up an IR issue in a positive, proactive manner. That's what this case about. With this background, read that. And it's not that difficult to read, but you have to read. Nobody can help.
Sir, we can't hear you.
No, you are reading. I'm not talking. Are you reading the case study or not? You joined now, right? There's
Sir,
one
yes,
case.
sir, yes.
This case study is given to all of you. Manesar case study. You read for 15 minutes. Then I'll explain you.
Okay, sir. Okay,
You
thank
are
you.
supposed to make the presentation. I will make presentation on your behalf of this case study. But it's better if you have just read it casually, have some idea about it.
Okay, sir,
In any
sure.
case, I'll tell you about the case history, facts, and the learnings and everything in detail. But if you read it, it will be easy for you to appreciate. Just go through in your WhatsApp. There's one case study on Manesar. Just glance through. You don't have to really get into more seriously reading. Because in any case, we are going to discuss thread board. In your WhatsApp, there's a case study on Manesar. Your hand is okay, madam? I hope it's easy to read and understand. Not a very complicated, just they put the facts, right? Even if you read the first 10 pages, you'll get an idea. Then I'll be able to explain. In your mobile, there's one case which is shared. Maruti Manesar case study. Just read that. Or both of you can go through one. You read it? 10 page. Or that's more than enough. You got the gist of it now. So you will make the delivery now. Good. Confident. Online students, how many pages you read already? Have you read it? Are you reading it? Am I audible? 3 questions at a time.
Yes, sir. Almost
I'm-
9 pages completed. So we
How
have
is
done
it?
most of it.
Okay, just tell me once you are ready, then we'll start discussing.
Sure, sure.
So can we start discussing? I think all of you read, except you. No problem, don't worry. You'll cope up with this. All of you read more than 10 pages, right? Huh? Online students, can we start discussing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, whatever you read, whatever comments you have to make, please hold on. Okay, I want to tell you what is the first free phase to this case study. Because you don't know anything about IR, right? Let me talk to you 5-10 minutes. What is IR? What are the IR issues? Then we'll come to this case. When I'm about to start the case, I will get your opinion, your expert opinion. Then I'll beat your expert opinion. Okay. First, what is IR? See, we studied in the initial class, first class. This course name is called HRM, right? According to me, the course name should not have been HRM. It should have been employee relationship. Why I call it HRM means you are concentrating basically in HR. Transactional HRM, transformational HRM, strategic HRM, employment engagement, best practice HRM. All those things are HRM related in other note. But when most of the IT industry guys, most of you are working for IT industry, you may not be even aware of what is IR or ER. What could be an industrial strike? What could be industrial dispute? What do you mean by industrial harmony? All those things you don't know. But when you talk about so-called HRM, it should include both. HRM, yes, correctly. That is where people can be, empowered, engaged, made to satisfy to work better. They come to work happily, contribute better to the company. They are also happy. They also contribute company. That part is very well taken through HRM, which we discussed a lot. You also have a fair idea about transactional, transformational, best employer, all those kind of things. When it comes to ER side, which is also equally important. I mean, this case study, you remember what is the end outcome? Every day they have to lose 75 crores. And so many people died, and the company brand has gone so bad. That too not very long back, very recently, 2012, 13 it happened. A good company, good product, very good brand, everything gone for a task. Why? Because we have not concentrated on, somebody call it IR, industrial relations, somebody call it ER, employee relationship, somebody call it strike or harmony or dispute. All those things also should be taught very well to any HRM students. Okay. Now, most of the IT company working guys may not be aware of it, but those who are working for traditional manufacturing companies like textile, engineering, chemicals, or even automobile industry, even very recently, Chennai, they have a strike, right? The Samsung company, right? They have. So those company where they have more than 500 people working, and that too at the workman level. Now I'll tell you what you mean by workman. So where these lot of traditional manufacturing, large scale workforce involved, this is going to be also equally important. In most cases, that will become 70-30. 70 will be when you talk about HRM, 70 will be ER and IR management. 30% will be your HRM management. Your kind of companies in IT companies, retail consulting companies, all those kind of, maybe 80-90% HRM. Hardly IR or there's no IR at all. Okay, there's no IR at all in companies like retail, consulting, even IT industry to a large extent. Okay, maybe 10% at a very lower level, otherwise nothing. But those industries, 70% is IR. So that there is a difference between these two. We have a background. Second things, when this kind of strikes happening in India, all the industries, last 20-30 years, what are the reasons for the strike? What are the reasons for the strike? Is it because of the management was rude? Or it because of the employees wanted something arbitrarily more high, that kind of things too? Or some external political parties, they are creating problem? So let me give you 15 minutes brief about what is that scenario. Then we'll get into the case. Okay. Now, when this kind of industries or these strikes happening or whatever is happening, why? What is the reason? Could be the unions are very logical. We are not logical. Or they are arbitrary. We are logical. Two. Or could be external people. They are creating problem. This is what happened 30 years back. There was no genuine reason for a dispute either from employee side or employer side. The political parties, even Tata Jamshedpur 30 years back, they had a major shutdown strikes and things like that. Because they all wanted to have their political career through that labor union. Because you have a lot kind of it. Now, fortunately, last 15 years, that is gone. Because the awareness has come up, CSR has come up, corporate governance has come up. So political parties directly get involved, they'll get exposed. It's a big thanks to the CSR and governance issue and the awareness of everybody. Those guys are not coming forward to play that. If they are coming to play that one, your IR guy, HR guy, ER guy has nothing to play. We cannot do anything. That's a different politics, gundagirdi, criminal activity or politicism, which will not come under our this course study. That will be probably under some other course on how to handle the conflict, how to handle the politicians, how to handle the external management, which any CEO in a manufacturing industry be expert at external management. I mean, if you are going to sit in your office 9 to 5, seeing the files, who has done what, your company is gone. Your 70% time should go to manage the external. What are the local guys? What are the local village people? What are the banks are giving? What's the law and order situation? What is the kind of pollution we are creating? What is the reaction from the people? What is the newspaper guys writing? You know, sometimes there are genuine reasons which they are going to exponentially take it up, or sometimes there is no issue which they confuse. Starlight and all those things recently happened. So that is another. So when you come to the point, what were the main reasons which took place under this 3 level? Employees were arbitrary, we are not arbitrary, or we are arbitrary, they are genuine, or third. So forget about the third one, the politicians creating issues and all. Now when it comes to employees, between this employee creating arbitrary or employer not behaving logically, there could be 2 reasons. And when you talk about the first one, employee, why employee were never satisfied, always come with the issues? Primarily monetarily, 80% of the time it was monetary related. I'm talking about my 30 years experience in corporate, not only experience as well as reading the reports. 80% of the employee creating dispute or industrial disharmony or industrial unrest is primarily the employees were not having an issue with the monetary issues. Monetary means what? Maybe salary, maybe bonus, maybe retirement benefit, maybe your overtime benefit, maybe your, whatever salary later. Now, how do you deal that one? When they say monetary, can they come and ask today they want 1,000 rupees increase? Tomorrow they want another 500 rupees increase. Are they likely to demand like that? Are we supposed to handle it? No, that was not the issue. The monetary issue, whenever they were asking, by and large, now just keep this holding. All this industrial dispute created primarily from employees' attitude, arrogancy, or employers, lethargic, non-compassionate approach to solve that issue. Between these 2, which one you will go for? Employees very nasty, aggressive, unnecessarily asking more bonus, this and that, all those kind. I said monetary is the major issue. Monetary becomes a major issue for most of the industrial unrest in India for the last 40, 50 years. Now, when I talk about monetary issue, we also given bonus, salary, ESI, overtime, and all those kind of things. Okay. Now, is it because of these guys have been very nasty? Or we as an employer, we have not been very sensitive. We are not being proactive. We are always doing knee-jerking, reacting. What could be the reason? Tell me. Normally, they feel employees. Even if you take Manesha, the people will say that employees have been so nasty. They kill people. They should not have done like that. The employees will, like you drive a car and some scooter wala comes and hits you. They will always tell, no, the car wala has done a mistake, not the scooter wala, cycle wala, right? So even in Manesha, people will say, without getting into detail, oh, the employees have been very nasty. They should not have done like that. All the union people are like that, people will talk like that. Now, what is your common sense? In most of their tags, it is both sides, okay? Predominantly whom? Employer. You mean to say that to a large extent, lot of strikes could have been avoided if the employer has been proactive, not childish, not immature, not reacting, not knee-jerking. Okay, all those things. I told you last time the class transactional analysis theory, right? TA theory. Did I tell you guys? No, all of you quickly go through TA theory in your online student. Transactional analysis theory. There are 3 egos: child, adult, parent. Go through that. 5 minutes it will take. Online student, transactional analysis theory. I hope in OB they should have covered it. Lot of diverse case has been come down in US just by going through this one. Lot of industrial peace happened if somebody practices this TA theory. Lot of peace will be at home when you understand transactional analysis theory. So you better understand. This guy is laughing. If you want a peace in the house, go through this one. Eric Bern's transactional analysis theory. It talks about your mobile is not working, man. You can use mine. Don't worry. Or you join with somebody, no? Oh yeah. Yeah. Anybody can. Are you probably with him? No? Have you got it? TA theory? Could you locate? Online students, could you get that one? TA theory, Eric Burns. Child, adult, parent, ego.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Please read for just quickly, then I'll tell you. Why I'm telling this one is that most of our Indian employer got into the child kind of reaction to the employee. Correct? You're able to relate now? What it says, na, there are 3 egos all of us go through. When we communicate, when I stand in front of you, I'm also coming in. Somewhere, some ego is getting exhibited. Morning, some ego, afternoon, or in the class. What is that? They explained it psychologically 3 levels. Child ego, adult ego, parent ego. What is child ego? Child is normally reactive, knee-jerking, arrogant, ego, all those kind of things. Making sound, noise, and all those things. What is adult? Be proactive, sensible, matured, balanced. That is an adult one kind of. Parent is giving all the time gyan. That please don't do this thing. If I give to you people, you are all coming in a millennial. Na? Millennial people, if anybody waves with parent, they'll say, parent, go to hell. Most of the parent, they are having this problem. You know that. Even your parent and you must be having this problem, right? But I don't have that problem. Okay. Most of the parent, because they don't understand. वो बोलेंगे ना हिंदी में आप समझते नहीं बच्चे बोलेंगे पापा आप समझते नहीं. This issue comes. That is because mostly parents talk from a parent ego. Their intention may be good. So why I'm talking about this one in industrial relations, when in a factory, why industrial relation takes place in the working kind of people today? Okay, the education level has gone up with a workman. In the past, the education level was not there. 6th standard, 8th standard, some sort of technical skill they picked up, Pitter, Turner, and all those kind of things. Those guys, the awareness is little less, and maybe he had some problem in the house. Maybe he has got some enmity with the friends in the workplace itself. Or maybe there's sometime you ask him to work the guy for instead of 8 hours, 15 hours. He has already gone through stress and things like that. So because of the stress, some minor issue, he comes and talk to the HR guy very rudely, apparently. Okay. So when he talks rudely, apparently, what is the ego he's talking? He's talking in the child ego. You understood the scenario because I gone through all those things. When this guy has got such a background, his background is he's not that aware. He's a small guy. He has been instigated easily by people. He can be provocated by his own people in the shop floor. He must have got some work problem in the house. Or we guys unnecessarily made him to work instead of 8 hours, 15 hours because other guys not come. All those things put pressure on that guy. So small issue. He happened to meet the plant manager or HR manager. He talks apparently rude. I will not say rude, apparently rude. So which means he's talking that time like a child. He's aggrieved. He's nasty. Now what the HR guy should do? Most of the HR guys will charge it and suspend. They will say that I'm a bitch HR guy. It's a discipline issue, behavioral issue. How can this, when HR manager's office is a big guy, he will not think that HR manager is a custodian of employee. He think that I'm a big guy. You are going to do this thing. This is, so that when he does it with child ego. I'm also doing the child ego, right? What I should have behaved that time with an adult ego. Come on, guy, sit down, have a glass of water. What is the problem? I understand. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to shout, shout. Do all those things. 50% of the problem will be solved then and there. So, correct. You want to shout at me? You want to cry? Can you have a glass of water? Sit in front of me. 50% is gone. What we will do? We will charge it. Correct? That how can he come and I'm a big guy, I'm a GM, I'm a plant manager, or a plant manager. I'm with all due respect to most of you guys, engineers. The technical guys are two weird guys, in the plant. The technical guys will not have, by and large, don't excuse me, the engineers. Most of them, they will not have that human psychology, especially the plant working guys. They will take it differently. Oh, how can a small fitter or turner, I'm a big technical manager, production manager, how can he behave with me? He will go and aggravate with the HR guy. If you don't suspend him, I will resign. I will do this thing, that thing. So this kind of thing. So what time, whether HR manager or plant manager, we are all management. We are, instead of taking the situation from an adult side, we'll also revert back to the child side. What will happen? The problem is not getting solved, it's getting aggravated. When you next level, you charge it him, another 10 people will come with other issues. Then it will go on strike and things like that. So why I want to say this is what has happening in most of the industries, that we come to the point that employee and employer, to a large extent, employer, had they been matured in handling, it could have been avoided. Most of the industrial disputes in India is related to monetary. Okay. And if incidentally that external issue is not there, like political parties coming and playing and all those things, if it comes, it's a very difficult game to handle it. Okay. And there are many states are coming forward to help the industry. Some states, they don't come openly, but they are not openly creating problem for the industry. Like for example, Gujarat and all, openly they support industries. Where states like Kerala, people never used to go and invest. But now at least even the Kerala government is not openly coming to create problem. It is certainly neutralized. So most of the monetary problem comes, means why monetary problem? What could be the kind of monetary problem? Could be salary. When I talk about monetary, let's take 5, 6. Salary, bonus, benefits, OT, contract labor salary. There could be many things. Which is the main thing which comes in that one. Basically salary. Salary, permanency of job. Now you are getting it very easy. If you understand, that is what educated professional guy means. That's what a doctor means. A big disease, you can easily diagnose it. If you know, it is due to what? If suppose you go and take over some sick industry with sick of lot of strikes and things like that. If you are very posh and cool guy with a lot of knowledge and nuances of dynamics of ER, you'll take it easily. Like a doctor who doesn't bother. He checks, your blood pressure, sugar, and ECG, this test, that test. Then he'll go about where to start, how to start. So similarly, the ER guy are not so much trained, knowledge-wise, skill-wise, ability-wise. That's another reason for this kind of thing. They may be doing all sorts of theoretical HR, but they are not good at that one. They need to have a knowledge, skill, competency. Two, they need to have a complete knowledge about the law compliance. If you don't know about the law, then, so now coming to this monetary benefit, mostly it comes into maybe salary, maybe bonus. Now, when I talk about salary, bonus, why that dispute should come? Is it again because of employer? Again, employer. The reason being, the employee cannot say that you are paying 10,000, pay me 15,000 salary. Can he come and say? They have not said. Employee cannot say. The problem is the minimum, there's awareness of law. There is an act called minimum wages to be paid for unskilled workmen, so much semi-skilled workmen. There's a government notification. You don't pay. Okay, so who is at the fault? Employer. The employees never come that 15,000 rupees is a salary, you pay me 20,000. If they go on that strike, you can crush them. You should crush them at one go. Whenever anything comes which is illogical, unreasonable, above the law, this is again a strategy of IR guy. When that moment comes, don't see, crush it, close down the factory, lock down, throw the guy out, kill them, whatever you want, do it. They will not do it. That is a stage when you have to do. So nip in the bud itself. You have the right to ask for minimum salary. You have the right to ask for bonus. You have the right to ask for overtime, double overtime. All those things well and said. But if you want to ask something which is not as per the government act, you want to bully me and demand me, make me to sign signature, all those kind of things. Then any industry guy should just nip it initially in the bud itself. Okay, now coming back to this money and all, which has become an issue. Why? Because most of the industry guy, why it is not happening in IT and other places? Because you people are not engaging the unskilled or semi-skilled worker. Most of you are knowledge workers, educated workers. In those places, you don't need a qualification to engage people, right? Now, at least they go for IT and things like that. That is what another problem. Previously, uneducated workers, you could have managed it. Now, most of the blue-collar job, educated guys are coming. They are aware of the rights and duties and laws very well. Their aspiration is very well. Their comparison with, that haves and have-nots. Those guys have much, why I should have less? So that is also coming. That's another issue. So now, why it's employer side? Employer take a short route. Suppose you have take Honda company. You have 500 workmen. Who is called workman? Are you called workman? Another concept. You are not a workman. Who is a workman? Is workman who will be safeguarded by the labor law. He is the only workman. You are all coming under the officer and manager category. Or above your use that you have a leadership. They don't come any of the category. So the labor law or IR is concerned morely with the workman. Okay. So the workman is governed by 44 labor laws. Minimum wage, payment act, bonus act, TS act, factory act, Security Act, blah, blah, so many acts are coming. So now what is happening is that I am suppose Honda company, I engage 500 people. So I need 500 people, so I engage 100 people. So instead of engaging all 500 people in permanent pay, the clean salary of 15,000, 16,000, whatever fixed rate, I get carried away. Sometimes engaging a lot of temporary people, but less salary, 7,000, 8,000 rupees. They also cooperate with you. Initially, they have to get an entry into the factory. Okay, so initially they are very much aware. You are supposed to pay 15,000 rupees minimum salary. You are paying 7 or 8,000. They are okay with it, but they will have their the liability accrued year or two. Then they will come on the floor. When they come on the floor, you are not ready to immediately settle. Like I said, they are crush it here, readily lenient and settle that issue by paying that money. If you do that thing, the strategy wise also, these guys are not adapt and quick in that. Where we have to crush it, crush it. Where you are at a failure or you enjoyed it, be linear and settle it then and there. Okay, this guy started asking. We already enjoyed 2 years by paying 8,000 against 15,000. Now the time has come. Let me pay the minimum salary and get away with it. He will not do it. They will still delay, or they will force them to go on strike. And these guys, what they will do, they are also human beings. All of us also, you have a, mid-size car, or you are looking for a high-end cars. No? All the time, all of us are into some of all the needs are going. So similarly, those people also. So these guys don't get into. The reason being, the management either is not aware of the law. They are not aware of the compliance of the law. They are taking it very casually. If I don't comply tomorrow, it will become a big issue for me. 4, okay, you've taken a benefit, well and good. You've taken it when the time has come, nicely, coolly pay them and settle it with a nice handshake. That also we will not do. That is where the whole industrial rest has been going on in India. Now, have you got the background of the IR issues? So it is coming back to the conclusion. To me, in my experience on industry and plus whatever education research I've done, it is primarily 70 to 80% industrial dispute could have been avoided if the management is adopt. Very diplomatic, very clear, very transparent. Okay. And the second thing is, it's primarily on the monetary issue. And it's primarily on salary. And again, one more issue I'll tell you. Again, the monetary. 70% of the cases are related to contract labor. If you also see, most of the, so simple, I don't know why guys don't understand. Take and lakhs and crores of money is getting wasted. People's tension, life, everything goes for a task. It's coming to simple. 90% of the dispute, forget about all the stories background I give. 90% of the industrial dispute in whether Hyundai or a textile mill or a pharma industry, everywhere is because of contract labor. Which means they are not aware of what you mean by contract labor. Acha, tell me, what do you mean by contract labor? Okay, now I told you the classification is on the top: workman, manager, leadership. You all come under manager, so you are not governed under the labor law. You are not a workman. You cannot take a shelter for your grievances. Whatever grievances you will have to go to civil court or high court. You cannot come to labor court because you are governed under the contract. Contract comes under not the contract labor. Your agreement with the employer is a contract. Your appointment letter is nothing but a contract. It's an agreement under the Contract Act, Indian Contract Act. So you have the right to go to there only. The high level leadership guys also, either they have to go to the arbitration case or a civil court or a high court, your leadership and all those. So the workman comes. Workman, there are 4 or 5 categories. So far it's clear to you guys, or I'm going overboard? It's clear, huh? The background is clear. Now you should also understand, since this is all applicable to workman. Who is a workman? We should know now. We should know the definition of workman. As per the law, workman is somebody who is getting a low salary, say up to 15,000 or 21,000. Every year, the law defines. The workman who is getting a salary up to 15,000 rupees will be called workman. One condition. Second condition, the workman should not be having any administrative powers. So he is a simple workman. He is obeying the command and completing it. Why I'm telling you that? That says only salary. If the salary is the king, all the smart industrialists, including me, I will increase everybody's salary from 15 to 18,000. Then I'll exempt them from all the workman category. Then I will do whatever I want. I can do it, right? Suppose 500 workers are working in my company and 300 are workmen whose salaries are around 13, 14,000 and things like that. And these guys are creating a nuisance. I am a very manipulative guy, like these guys have done it. So I will increase everybody's salary to 15,100. Can you do it? This is where Supreme Court has come into effect. Now the sources of law is what? One law is act passed by the state government or the central government. The other law is whatever judgment given by the Supreme Court, High Court, which also become a source of law. Now the Supreme Court and all has already come with judgment. Guys, don't go by only salary. Salary is predominantly the indicator. If a workman's salary is around 15 or less than 15, is clear-cut called 15. But if you are trying to manipulate that, you make it somebody's salary 50,000 rupees because I'll pay them for 3-4 months and kill them. Nah? Kill them means release them. That's a language I use in IR. You know, there are out of 500 people, 10 people are nasty. The 10 people are only spoiling the whole thing. Nah? I increase everybody's salary to 5,000 for 6 months. How much it will cost? 10 guys every month, 5,000, 50 for 6 months. How much? 3-4 lakh, 5 lakh, which is nothing, nah. So I can easily get away with it. So keeping that one, our Indian constitution system is very strong. The Supreme Court said, no, you cannot go only by salary. There are judgments, which is very mind-boggling. Chief engineer of factory has been declared as a workman. He proved, sir, I was getting a salary, but I was a pure servant. I was obeying. I didn't have any authority, no leave sanctioning, no purchase procurement, nothing, no power. These guys have been using me like that. The Supreme Court said, yes, you are a workman. Though your salary is 50,000 a lakh rupees, still you are a workman. So that's an extreme case of it. Now, the workman, within the workman, there are 5 categories. Employee classification is workman, manager, leader, broadly. Now the IR is more concerned with the workman. Within the workman, there are 5 classifications of workman. What are the 5 classifications? Simple, if you take, let's take only the Hyundai. There's a fitter vacancy of 100. The people come with the ITI. We selected, took him first on probation. We have the right to take probation. And then we confirm him permanent. We pay him whatever is unskilled salary or semi-skilled salary or highly skilled salary. That is called permanent. Now, what is temporary? Temporary means I need some temporary workers because there is some temporary pressure of work. I mean, during Dandaras or Diwali, people want to buy more car, more delivery. So every day I don't need 50 fitters, but this 3 months I need maybe another 10 fitters. So the law says, okay, you to take care of emergency of work, you take care of temporary workers. Temporary means you keep them temporarily for 3 months or 4 months, number one. Number two, pay them the salary equivalent to permanent guy of that nature. What we do is, we don't pay the salary. We think temporary means somebody kiske ke muli, that kind of Hindi mein bolte na, that kind of, I will pay whatever I feel like. Then the temporary means I will not stick to the 3-4 months. Temporary means what? Literally temporary. 3 months, 4 months. I will keep the guys for 5 years. There are industry, if you have to go and see, you will say I'm a temporary. The poor guy is also waiting. One day I'll get permanent. And he is not a poor guy, he's a smart guy. He knows that, I've already dragged these guys into this one today or tomorrow. They have to give me, otherwise I'll use my right. So this again, problem created by the industry. You kept a temporary, law says keep a temporary when there is a temporary pressure of work. Temporary means temporary. Keep in that time and pay him the same salary equivalent to permanent workman. 2, there could be temporary for 3-4 years also. Where? Normally temporary means it cannot be more than 3 months or 4 months, whatever. Temporary can be 4 months. Suppose one of the senior fitter, he met with an accident in the plant. So he is disabled for 3 years or 5 years, but he has not left the job. He is in line with the job. He is not coming to the plant. He is on leave for 3 years. Approved leave with salary or without salary. That means his job is waiting for him 4 years. Till that 4 years, you have the right to engage somebody in his place. That can be a long period also. Then you have to prove through the documents. So-and-so met with an accident. So-and-so has created this vacancy. This job belongs to him. Till he comes, this job is temporary. You can work. Beyond that, you cannot ask for. The court will say yes. Clear-cut communication. And in that case, also you have to pay him from. The third issue, which I said, contract labor is a major issue for a dispute. If somebody takes care of only this issue, you don't have to talk and learn about whatever I talked to you. Now, what is contract labor? The same company. First of all, they don't know about the definition of contract. What do you mean by contract labor? All of you think that contract labor means they engage through some third party. He'll supply some guys. It is not my headache. They are not my employees. He will pay whatever feels like. These guys will come and do work. What I concern, I am not bothered about it. This is the normal understanding. Third party is engaging. But it's totally wrong. I am the principal employer. I can engage through contractor. I must engage through the contractor, contract labor. There is a certificate given to contractor to engage people. But he is a secondary employer. I am the principal employer. I am responsible for the minimum salary, bonus, OT, everything equivalent to permanent labor of an equal apple to apple comparison. Suppose I've taken somebody unskilled in contract. Suppose I pay 10,000 rupees. This guy should also get 10,000. That guy gets 10% bonus. This guy should also get 10%. But normally what we do is that he's not at all my baby. It is a contractor's baby. We let him go to hell. Again, like a workman, temporary guy is so smart. Contractor is also smart. He gets his commission, 13%, 15%, whatever on the agreed terms. He knows the liability cannot go to him. The fools are these industry guys because not having a clarity or they don't want to accept reality. That could be another reason. You do not accept the reality. Those guys are smart contractors because legal liability cannot go to him. Every month on the wage bill multiplied by 15%, 12%, whatever commission, he gets it. He's only making money. And once he arranges a set of labor, he doesn't have to every time arrange or run around and do all this kind of work. It's a very cool job for the contractor. Nice money, no liability, no risk, not a big effort second, third time. Once he done it. But whereas the industry guys think is, oh, it's not my employee, it's a contract employee. I'm not responsible for this thing. So then this contract labor also, like temporary workers, smoothly will for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They'll not open their mouth or anything, anywhere, nowhere. And we also in a greedy, where number one, that one. Number two, what do you mean by contract labor? Where the contract labor can be used? If you take in Hyundai, process, starting getting from the raw material, getting the finished put out is called process. It is called core job. In all this core process-oriented job, you are not supposed to engage contract labor. One thing, whenever you engage, you have to pay the equal amount salary. You are as a principal employer responsible. Two, this is more applicable to this case. Maruti Manesar is 70% due to contract labor issue. I'll come to explain that when it comes to. So now the second thing is you are not supposed to engage contract labor, even if you pay the same salary. Okay, even if you take care of everything, you are not supposed to keep contract labor in the factory where the process goes through or the core job goes through. Then where you can employ, where is the concept of contract labor? Contract labor can be kept in a peripheral job. Could be your housekeeping, could be your infrastructure cleaning, could be your security. Even there are security issues also come in the Supreme Court. Oh, that could also be process oriented. That's an extreme. Judges also know. Some High Court judge will say it is not process. Allahabad High Court judge will say security is not a process oriented. It's a peripheral. Some other judge of some Punjab High Court will say no, it's a process. Between the high courts also, state to state, there will be different judgments. Okay, let's not get into that. You don't have to get into that level. So for your level, security, for example, it's a peripheral job. Housekeeping, gardening, it's a peripheral job. Or sometimes you remove a lot of waste from the factory, put it to the next ground. From there, somebody has to take it to the next level disposal. That could be a peripheral job. These are the places only you can keep a contract labor, not inside. So when you put him inside, this guy will smartly keep all the records. You will send him to pick up some raw material. You will send him to take the material to the finished go down. You will give him some pass, some token, some coupon. All those things, he smartly will keep everything. He will wait for a year, 2 or 3. Like all of you studying now, 2 years to get MBA. He will also wait for 2 years to claim his permanency. That 2 years, so he will be so silent, so normal, so obedient, and his output will be much better than the permanent worker. The other dynamics is that this at the top manager, the middle level, you guys, the technical manager, plant manager, no, you don't think a big picture. You are not worried about the company. This guy is today, compared to 10 permanent workers, 3 contract workers are so obedient, their output is excellent. So I go bida with this guy. I want all contract labor. You're understanding that, na? You're not concerned about what is the repercussion to the company. To me, as long as I am the plant manager, technical manager, contract labor is good for me. He obeys me, he salutes me, his output productivity is much more than the permanent worker. So this is all the dynamic. So when this is the issue, they'll work. So in that kind of people, suppose 40 people are allowed in the peripheral job. Instead of 40, you can say 100. And that 60 people inside, you can try and manipulate and do this. But you straight away take 200 people inside. Maruti also did the same thing. The requirement is 500 core job. Out of the 200, 300, you are taking contract work. Who is doing that? It's basically penny wise fool kind of things without having a long term. So basically that's called contract. The fourth level is apprenticeship. You know that engineers and fitter, they come and work for apprentices for a short time. They're not actually not a workman. They are trainee coming under and going. The fourth level. The fifth one is called we call it in Hindi badali or substitute. When I have thousands of employees, there could be absenteeism, could be every day 40, 50 people. So the badali people will be there like a contract labor only. I can every day draw them. Today there is a shortage of 20 people, give me 20 people, 30, 40 people. So the problem comes between temporary and contract labor, and more so with contract labor, because the industry's got a misnomer. Contract labor means I can do away with contractor. It's not my liability. It's not my risk. The cancer is not on me. Without knowing, the cancer is only on you. Okay, this is the maximum industrial dispute from employer, maximum on account of monetary. When I say on account of monetary, primarily on account of temporary and contract labor, whether you know or not. The other dimension is one more dimension. This is a normal one. Okay, now this kind of manager kind of thing, some abnormal thing. This guy is highly very dynamic guy, very, I know better, like Bhaskar, and very strategic guy. I'll manage the company very well. They made up another mess. What is that mess? Here, non-compliance. You are not complying as per the labor law in paying minimum salary to the contract labor equivalent to permanent worker. This is also non-compliance. You are not keeping you are keeping contract employer in a place which is not stipulated for contract employer. This is also non-compliance. So when all the non-compliance becomes a root source of cause for an industrial dispute. And that industrial dispute is very strong from employee's point of view. You don't have a point to negotiate. Nothing like you can negotiate. Here, when they come into fore, you have to obey. Otherwise, you'll be put into jail and asked to implement it. There are some places when there's a bonus dispute comes. You are paying 8.33 is the minimum, maximum is 20. You declared 14, they want 16. There could be a negotiation, collective bargaining, discussion, and all those things. But whatever I told you, non-compliance, you already, given all your authority to that guy. Now, faithfully, if you want to save your face, implement it quickly. Otherwise, you will be directed to implement it either by putting it to jail or putting 10 times penalty. Under the labor law, the conciliation officer has got the discretionary power of putting you 10 times penalty, not mandatory. There's a difference between mandatory and discretionary. Mandatory means he has to put. Discretionary means that guy can watch and view. He can put 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or how much money you give it to him. Accordingly, he'll reduce the punishment. Okay, now one issue is coming back to closer. One. Most of the dispute is concerned with non-compliance of labor law, particularly in regarding to temporary and contract labor in terms of the equalization of salary or bonus or not making them permanent. This is only one statement. Okay, for the industrial dispute in India. You understood? There's another second dispute, which is created by the multinationals without understanding the culture, like Maruti. Over-compliance. Over-compliance means if the bonus act says don't pay more than 20, minimum, even your loss-making company, you have to pay 8.33. And the maximum, even if your company is doing very well, you don't have to pay more than 20. They come and create an issue. I told you the first point, crush them. Hey, go to hell. You don't have the right, I will not pay you. Take that stand. What these guys did, they have not taken the stand. They paid more. That is what I call over-compliance. So when the law says you don't pay him more than 20, you have been paying more than 20. The law says pay him 15,000 rupees salary. You are paying 20,000 rupees salary. Okay, now what are the consequences of over-compliance? 2 complaints. One, you are not supposed to pay, you've done it. Okay, sweet well. Once you did it, your hands are out. The precedence will be the law. Next time when the guy is going to come to ask you, he has got the legal right to ask you more. The law says precedence. You only agreed, na? Once you agreed from 20 to 22 points. Now he's asking 30%, you negotiate and settle. Government will not come to help you. If I have not yielded to this one, if somebody comes, it happened with me in one of the factory in Punjab. They said, sir, we want 22%. 20%. I said, I told my top manager, let's crush these guys. Once you yielded it will take you for lifelong. They will come with many issues. Maybe 10 days they do Angama, strike, and Jindabad, Muradabad, all those kinds. Let's go through it. And then we are safe. Only thing is we lose that 10 days productivity and shut down and all those things for a long-term benefit. The management has agreed. So they went on strike. They put we all used to stay in, it was a sugar chemical complex, big complex, 500 acres. And we also used to stay inside the campus. There's a workers' colony, managers' colony, leaders' colony, and all those things. So right in front of just half a kilometer in front of my house, only they all ground, they were doing Angama, Jindabad, Murdabad, we'll do them, that thing, all those things. I told the man, nothing. You lose only 10 days. They'll come into line. And it's not my problem to solve. What we did is smartly, since I'm a lawyer, I went to the local SSP, police commissioner, and the local collector, and the labor commissioner, given them in writing. What they are doing is against the law. They are doing kundagri. Okay, I'm not at fault. And because of this thing, murder can happen in my place. If the murder happens, you as a police commissioner are accountable, you as a collector accountable, you as a labor commissioner accountable. Give them in writing, come home. Enjoy your whiskey and have cold weather and all, relax. Okay, especially in winter and some Punjab and all, you can really enjoy. Sit and enjoy with a fire burn and a nice whiskey, brandy, whatever you feel like. Okay, there you don't get brandy, only whiskey you get in Punjab. Okay, and so it happened. So 10 days. Then all the time the police have to be alert. Because you served the notice, taken a copy in with you. Now you don't have to safeguard the ground. If something goes wrong, their head will go. The Home Secretary and everybody. It's gone 10 days after 7th, 80 days, extreme cold. And this guys unnecessarily promised to the workman that will get you. Now, after 5 days, the workmen come to know, okay, we are not going to get the union leader cheated me. And they started fighting amongst themselves. Okay, one fine night, 1 o'clock, it was mist. You can't even see. 3-4 union leaders covered their head. From the backside of my house, they come to see me. Sir, please bail us out. We made a mistake. Somehow you bail us out. I said, I will bail you out, not by giving this one. There are some genuine grievances, like we call it fitment cases. Fitment means somebody is working like a fitter, but you are not paying his fitter salary, you're paying his an oilman salary. He's working like a driver, you are not paying a driver salary, you're paying a cleaner salary. I said there are 30-40 cases like that. I will do it. So you take credit for that. Okay, but I will not increase that. They said there is no other alternative to those guys. They went and told them, yeah, they will give. So then they withdrawn that. So now what I'm saying is, coming back to this story, over compliance. The moment you over comply, then next, suppose I over complied 1 year 22%. The next year they want 28%. Then I could not have gone to the police commission. He will say, you already set the precedence. Now you handle it. And if you don't handle it, like the way you fixed me, now I will fix you. Police commissioner will fix me. Anything happens, I will take you into custody first. That's what the language he will speak. Because here two intellectuals game. Like I had one more incident. My classmate only. That time was 35, 40. I was a CEO of a big complex in UP. My classmate became the district IAS officer, commissioner of that area. Very, very good friends and things like that. There was a land order situation. That guy never come forward to help me out. All the juniors, they know that Bhaskaran is very close to that guy. They are good friends and studied together and all those things. Probably will know. He said, no. As long as let his factory go into loss, don't worry about it. As long as people don't clash or start marpit, then only our action comes into effect. If the factory is closed, let it be closed. What I'm saying is there is an intellectual game. He may be a friend, he may be a dada or brother, whatever. He will play from his own point. I will play from my own point. So coming back to this point, over compliance. If you do over compliance, so there are two reasons. In nutshell, IR, either due to non-compliance, ignorantly or intentionally. Most of the place, I will not say ignorantly. These guys think it, okay, I'm a penny wise. I'm making some money. Let me go on. Okay, make it, no, timely close it. Or over compliance. Over compliance is very less case, but most of the multinationals are getting into over compliance issue without understanding the cultural and the labor law implication. They are doing. Now that is why most of the companies, when they come for Indian investment, they ask for a due diligence report. Okay, this is the IR background. Now we can get into the case study. You want to take a case study now, or you want a 10 minutes break? Break. Background is clear? Okay. Now with that background, we'll get into the case study. Guys, take a 10 minutes break. Then we'll get into the case study. Once you complete the case study, we'll go into your question paper, which you are, that's the only thing you are waiting for. Correct? Okay, go ahead. Enjoy. Your canteen is open, coffee and all there. Normally canteen open Sunday, na? Come on, guys, I'll come
Yes,
with
sir,
you.
it is open, sir. Yeah, can take a break. Sir.
Yeah, just put it. This system is not working. Okay, guys. Now you had a nice tea, coffee, na? Coffee or tea? Okay, done. Now I've already done my job. Now you guys have to tell what is your learning from this case study. Online, offline. Okay, the stage is ready now. Tell me, what did you people learn in this case study? Online students, am I audible? Now I may not be audible to you guys.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
You
We can
are,
hear
sir.
you.
You are audible.
Okay, now tell me what is that you want to talk about this case study. You read the case study. I given you the background about IR and ER situation, why, what, and how, things like that. Now, based on that, tell me what is that learning from this case study? Number one. Number two, I've already told you how to go about analyzing any case study. Again, if you want, I'll repeat. You don't have to get tensed and perplexed and all those things. Only 3 points. What is the objective? Why this case study has been written? What is the facts of this case study? What is the analysis? What is the learning? That's all. 3, 4 slides. And all the 4 again can come into one slide. The moment you keep doing that, your life will be very smart and simple, love and fun. Otherwise, your life will get stressed. Who is going to read so much, what and how and all those things. Okay, with that in view, come on. Anybody like to talk? What is the learning? What is the objective of this case study? First, let's go with the first agenda. Why this author has written this case study? What is the objective which is captured in this case study? Okay, he says how the HR has to handle the contract labor. Okay, one. What else? What else? Sorry?
Training and
Okay.
development of the labor.
Sorry?
Training and development of the employees. to get,
Training and development of the employees in this case study. No, there's no question of training and development. They have not given any training and development.
Sir, there is a
Yeah, go ahead.
there is a lack of communication between
Correct.
HR and labor.
Correct. One objective is very well said. One objective this case highlights how ineffective communication can create lot of industrial unrest. This is one objective of this case study. How ineffective communication, or extended, due to ineffective communication, lack of trust. Due to ineffective communication, transparency goes out. So due to this reason, industrial relation can go to a heavy. That is one objective which is captured in this case study. Very well. Okay, what else?
Awareness of labor laws.
Yeah, the second thing is that you must be aware of the labor law and comply adequately. Not overly, not less. Second objective. Clear? Anybody can write it so that you can read it again. First objective we written, the ineffective communication can create industrial unrest, and further lack of trust and not transparency. Number one, can create lack of trust and lack of transparency. If there's no transparency, all the doubts create and the rumor mongers will create problem. You'll get into industrial unrest. That's one. Here, actually, there is no communication between worker, HR, and top management. You can write down. Second point is there is no proper communication which took place between top management, HR, and workers.
And even union also, I believe. So.
Yeah, well, workers, I'm extending workers along with the unions.
Okay.
Correct. Okay, one objective. The second objective somebody said is that awareness of labor
Awareness
law,
of labor laws.
and more particularly about contract labor in this case.
Sir.
And implementing the contract law could have avoided industrial unrest. right? To second point. What else? Yeah, third is that not to over comply, and that becomes a precedence. You can put to both points, not to over comply or not less compliance, just adequately comply. Third objective, what else? I've also written some of the objectives you can read and then make it in your own language. The fourth point is you have been talking all about your SHRM transformational HR. HR should work like an employee champion, right? HR should be more closer to employee. Had it been, the communication could have been better, and then you could avoid it. So HR, the next objective, HR should be closer to the shop floor and the workman and get their confidence. Here it's ulta. To workman, shop floor and workman. We are talking more about workmen, right? IR is more related to workmen. We are not talking about the managers and leaders. So HR should be more closer to the shop floor employees or the workman. So if you are closer, then you could have got the confidence. You could have communicated. You could have avoided. Okay, that's fourth point. What else? Again, you refer anything I left, take it. Labor law, you already taken it. And contract labor, you've taken it. Communication, you've taken it. Right. What else? So one side, you created all this issue. Okay, you're not communicated, you're not complied with the law. Now, am I missing anything from the case study? You all studied, I have not studied. The job, that is, if you see the first 10 years to 1980 to 2000, there was no issue. When totally, good point, he raised it. Now, analysis of the case he started, good. He's saying that probably the Japanese work culture has created an industrial unrest, hypothetically. Yes and no. Why no? Between 2018 to 2000, there was no issue. Productivity was very high. That's why they're getting more bonus, more salary. See, if you are happy with the more bonus and more salary and more productivity, there's no an issue. In 2000, the NDA government has come, they started disinvestment. Acha, the communication gap started not only with the management level of the plant, it started from the political government level also. The government wanted to disinvest. They wanted to sell some of this property to some private party. So the worker feared it. Well, if it goes from this hand to Maruti Suzuki to some private party, we will not get a better benefit. So what question you asked, it is not that Japanese culture. They were more worried about the government interference to disinvest that property. That again externally triggered this issue. Second, what else? Come on, online student. It cannot be more than 10 points, 18 pages. You guys write now 20 slides. Write and break your head, right? It should not be more than 2 slides. That's what I want you to learn. Not only this case study. How do you write a case study? Analysis. Okay, 5, 6 points. What else? One set you written it, one set. This is another set. There's an external issue of this disinvestment rumor from the top political government has created communication fear among the workers. That is second issue. That you call it external. This is internal, that is external. What else? Come on, you read the case. Now, come on.
So working conditions?
Working condition, there was no such issues like working condition in the case study, right?
Oh,
You are going outside the case.
okay.
The case is talking about contractor labor not confirmed, contractor not getting salary, bonus not getting, suspended, union, blah, 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 all those things. But it's not talking about the working condition. Okay, now 2 set you've done it. The third thing is, when you are at wrong, the fourth point you write. When you are at wrong legally, be lenient. When you are strong, crush them, like I told you. You should know where you are strong, where you are weak. That's leadership, right? When you are strong, strong means you are legally right. Somebody is trying to bully you, crush them. Here you are totally legally wrong. Okay, the scenario is totally legally wrong means You've made a lot of contract workers. You've not paid the minimum salary. You've not confirmed them. All those kind of things are not complied as per the law. You are weak. So here there's no question of negotiation. They're asking, and you already paid more bonus. You already paid more salary. You are over complied. You are not complied. Both case. Here in this case, both mistake you've done. You over complied by paying more salary, more bonus. You are not complied by keeping more contract labor and not confirmed. So in this case, you are really not at a stage of negotiating. When this is a scenario, you should go slow in suspending people, dismissing people. You are again doing, that is what I told you, the TA theory. Again, you are continuing with your childish activity. When you are already wrong, so you should take your diplomacy, prudency. No, this is not the time to behave that way. Let me be prudent. The word is prudent. Let me be mature. So I'm already in the wrong stage. So at that stage, what I did it, I suspended people. I dismissed people. I will not close the inquiry in time. Now, are you getting all the points which I'm telling in the case study? So I will suspend people. So it will go again communication gap. Oh, management is victimizing. The word is victimizing. The employees will feel management is going flat in victimizing. So I will go against them. Suspended, not concluding the inquiry in time, dismissing people, closing the layout, lockdown illegally. And after the lockdown also, you don't pay the minimum compensation which you're supposed to pay during the lockdown. That also you don't pay. This is a fourth, write down. The third set of issues. Over compliance, non-compliance in terms of bonus, salary, contract labor regulation. Okay. Next is taking all knee-jerk actions like suspending, dismissing, late conducting inquiries, suspending, dismissing, late conducting inquiries, lockdown, and not paying the subsistence allowance during the lockdown period. Again, non-compliance, which you are not supposed to do, which aggravated. Sorry? Yeah. How many stages we did? We have given three approaches, right? 1, 2 is external one. Third is this operational mistakes. One after another they did, which is not correct, not the appropriate right time to do all those kind of things. That time there was no need to take such a disciplinary action or suspending people or lockdown. What happens? It created more miscommunication, more lack of trust. All these things created lack of trust, lack of transparency, more acceptance of victimization. The union people proved to the employee the management is going flat in victimizing, and rightly so. So this aggravated this issue. All this thing could have been avoided or not? I mean, except that what the government did, disinvestment, which may not be in the top leadership level. This doing all those operational knee-jerking action could have been avoided by the management. So by avoiding that one, you could have already created the trust. Now what is lack of trust, lack of transparency, ineffective communication, not closer to people, and they are feeling the victimization. Another point. Fourth structure again, the fifth point out of this thing. This is all happening in most of the industry, I'll tell you. What has happened in the Manesar case study has been the same, like medicine you take, fever means you take only crocin. Whether they call it paracetamol or crocin or calpol, all nonsense is only one paracetamol. Correct? Like in accountancy also you do 2 + 2. Same here also, yeah. The stories may be different. But if you see this is exactly happening in most of the places. By understanding what I told you the first lecture now and understanding the case, you are through with IR. Now, the other fourth point is they believe in doing politics, top management. If you remember that guy Gujjar, he wanted to form a new union. Do you remember you read that point or not? So instead of allowing that guy to form a union, what will happen? If you are complying, why do you worry about 10 unions or 20 unions? So far, what I try to tell you, no union, nobody can harm you. If you are clear, you are a leader, you are complying, if you are straightforward, if you are clear, nobody can harm, even if they have 10 unions. But if you lapse somewhere else, one union is more than enough. You don't need 10 unions. Okay, that clarity you must have. So with that, Sonu Nigar wanted to form a union. What the management did? Management got into politics and groupism. which again, most of the Indian companies, they do that. Instead of, again, it will create lack of transparency, lack of honesty between. Again, the management feel, oh, the worker feel the management is trying to be chalu, smart, trying to create a problem. So all those kind of things will get built up. So what they did in this case, they nicely paid him some handsome money, asked him to go home. So the worker, they thought the workers will not know. Anybody will understand, right? The guy wanted to form a union. He come very forward. Sonu Gujar, I think. Sonu Gujar, that local influential guy. The management bought him, paid him money, and given a whole golden handshake by money, went up. So that didn't solve the problem. That triggered more problem. Probably people wanted to come with some more kind of union activities and things. Right? This is what you call theoretically. Management is not straightforward. You are getting into groupism and politics, which is an unethical practice. So management getting into that temporary solution or it's an unethical. Now, why you are coming? You be strong, na? You be strong about your product, your service, your compliance, your law. I told you, I don't mind. If I have been a director, HR or MD, if some union guys have to be get killed, I will not mind getting killed. Provided he's totally wrong, I'm totally right. I'm running a 10,000 workers company that 5-10 guys are obnoxiously without any reason. They want to spoil the whole thing. And totally he's wrong, totally I'm right. Don't go to that level. Dismiss him. Let him go up to Supreme Court. Let him win and come after 25 years. We'll fight tooth and nail his case. Do all those kind of things. But provided you are at that stage. When you are already wrong, and you are doing all this. So that means understanding, deciding, problem solving. Where is that industrial relation situation today in this company? Is it in this condition, this condition? Okay. So that Sonu Nigam has wanted to do, they didn't do it. So that created. That's another issue. That is all done by the manager. Now, all this issue created a scenery of industrial unrest. Some external people. What are the external? One, I said the government. The lot of people were the local guys who become more educated. They wanted a full job in that company, which the company could not give. So they all wanted to create, when the people are not happy, they wanted to create problem to the local guys. A lot of socio-cultural issues. The local guys were all very influential. Economically, they have become much better because the property value and all has gone up. So their ambition, that I want to be created like a big guy, I want to have a big car and things like that. So their ambition, aspiration, everything has gone. So everything had got connected. So external, one is that government disinvestment. The local guys waiting for an opportunity to hit at you. The Gujar community and all, they are very dominant community, Gujar and Yadav, Ahir and Yadav community. So they wanted to show that why we should not give. And then then the contract labor also, large number of contract labor. See, no, permanent employees can get much more. Mind you, this contract labor was not getting much less than the labor law. Little less only. But otherwise, later on the management decided to remove contract labor and also pay them, full salary. If they have done it earlier, it could have been done. And one more thing about contract labor law, the contract labor law title itself, like you call it Bonus Act, you call it Payment of Wages Act. The Contract Labor Act itself, it's called Abolition and Regulation of Contract Labor. The act title itself, the first page itself, it will not say contract labor. It will say abolition and regulation of, which means government, Indian constitution doesn't want contract labor. That is why the word starts with abolition. Since it cannot be avoided, I want to regulate. That is the objective of the Contract Labor Act. You take 1972, I think. I don't remember the year, but the title is same. Contract Labor Abolition and Regulation Act, which means I don't want contract labor. Government as a social one. But I know it cannot be done at this stage. Hence, I want to regulate. Regulate means to minimum extent possible. That is the objective of the act. Then when we are all MBA, HR and labor law and all those kind of things, we should understand the spirit of it, right? So anything else I missed in this case study? You studied, yeah. 50 people you studied. I didn't study. Have we talked about the objective clearly? What is the analysis? What is the analysis? You acted irrationally, arbitrarily, when you have to act proactively. One. The external have taken charge of it when you are in a mess. Second analysis. When you have to be prudently balancing not to take serious action, you've taken it. That's analysis. What else? What is in this case 18 page? That's all or something more? And what is the learning? Simple, whatever you did, that's a learning. Yeah. What is the learning? Tell me. Now, okay. Now, sorry. Whatever. Okay, guy, online student. Anything you want to add? I didn't allow you to talk. Now you can talk. Because when I allow you to talk, you guys go right and left. Okay. And rightly so. Okay, come. Online student. Any points you want to add? Have you analyzed and solved this case or not? Online student, have we solved the case? This is called solving the case. Have we solved?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Have we
sir.
solved it or anything we missed it?
All covered, sir.
No, you want to add something? You're most welcome. I said whatever I had to say, I completed. Before I forget, I thought I'll vomit it. Anything you want to say? Okay, now, okay, this guy told me labor law change, which I'll tell you after I give you the question. Okay, there has been a major change in India. Initially, there are 44 labor laws. You know, contract labor, minimum wage act, payment of wages act, bonus act, TS act, factory act, you know, and the industrial dispute act, so on, so on. First time in India in 2021, the government took a courageous step to amend all this act. Because all this act has come after the independence, it was a socialistic nature, and the government believed employers are sin, they are going to exploit the employee. With that philosophy, they passed all the act. Now the foreign investment has to come. Those guys don't want to come with all this law. They say, and they also don't want to be non-compliance. Like Indian companies, no, we are all too jugadis. Last 20 years, we have been jugad in managing, you know, that we know to manipulate and get out of it. I told you, now I'll tell you, well, I told your section also other day. I was a director HR in one of the company in Bangalore itself. It's a massively labor engaged employee. They were whiskey manufacturing. Every day they used to dispatch 25 trucks of whiskey just in the Mysore road. Still the company is there. And they used to engage 500 to 600 women to come in the bottling line. You know, the bottle comes, they put a cap, the whiskey fills it, they pack the label and put it and goes on. Okay. 500, 600 labor, and they're all core job, nothing contract job. You know, when the bottle line is going, automatic bottling line, they're putting the bottle, they're putting the cap, they're putting the label, they're putting it. 500, 600 people. The minimum I'm talking about, it was, I think, 15 years back. The minimum salary that time was for 10,000 rupees. Okay. The company used to pay 5,000 rupees. Okay. And also the company know the psychology of the people who are coming, especially the ladies coming from Delhi. The company will go and pick them in a bus, drop them in a bus. So they are all happy. I don't have to worry about catching bus and all. Okay. And the company, and once it come, company will give breakfast. Nice breakfast. So you don't have to cook and worry at the house and all. No? You, right. Practically happened. I was also instrumental in that. So they'll get a nice breakfast. If it's 8 o'clock, poor people, they'll be come here at 7:30. 7 o'clock, they'll pick them up. 7:30, they're in the campus. 7:30 to 8, we'll give them nice hot lunch, whatever, puri, pulao, all those kind. They eat lunch, but they feel, I don't have to get up and cook in the morning, right? Then lunch, that's all free, apart from 5,000. Lunch also given free. And the evening, instead of 8 hours, probably we'll make them to work 9 hours. We'll keep it. They will not even know they're working for 9 hours. You will go to 9 hours. The evening also, while going, they'll give them some snacks, tea, coffee, and all, put them bus and all. So they are very happy. Okay, they're very, very happy. But what is the cost to the company? 5,000 you are paying. Maybe you add all this thing, your bus charges and 3 times, maybe come another 1,000 rupees, 6,000 rupees. Okay. Whereas the minimum salary was 10,000. You are not paid. Okay. Now, if I take people like you to after my class, you will go and tell the MD, so no, sir, you have to comply with all those things, otherwise you'll go to jail, this and that. The MD probably will say that tomorrow onwards you get lost from the job. Okay. 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 Now how do you handle it? One side between deep devil and sea. How do you handle it? Tell me. If you don't comply, you are in a big soup. If it comes, if it doesn't come, comes. Acha, that company, that particular time, was saving 4 crore rupees only on this account per annum. And that was a profit source, nothing else. This saving money on the labor and buying, instead of fresh bottle, buying the second-hand bottle, that was the only source of that company's business model of saving profitability. Had they bought all new bottles, had they given all those things, the company could have been shut down long back. So the company will say, where will I pay from all this? So now I think that time it was still manageable, but today it is not possible. Today the awareness has come up so much, due diligence has come up. It happened in 5 years back. 4 crores, 5 crore rupees, they used to say only on this. Now, how do you manage that kind of situation? The labor inspector will come, you'll manage no problem. And all party to, and the issue was that all those ladies, no objection to that. Had they objected to it, you could have been messed. They were very happy. Where even when the inspection will come, poor people, they'll ask, are you getting, say, no, they'll say, I'm getting 10,000. They were managing it in such a way. So once it happened, so when this rumor went out, I think this, not only this company, all the distilleries were doing the same practice. Not only this particular company. So this news spread out, went up to the state legislature. They formed a committee. One day, one full bus of people come to inspect. What's happening. Full bus of inspector, not only government inspector, the local MLA, local leaders, government inspector, some influential people, everybody come to inspect it. Now that day, how do you manage it? Tell me. Now I'm teaching you unethical. How do you manipulate things? So far, I taught you that one. Right? This situation, so easy to handle the labor inspector and all. Somebody will ask you 10,000, somebody ask you lakh rupees. That's all. Some guys will go away with some less money. Some guys will greedy, will take you to ask you more money. It's your luck or headache. To that extent, though, you'll manage it. It's not a big issue. You pay less or pay more. That's the only issue. But when this kind of inspection comes, how will you do? Tell me. We'll get into big soup. The background is only good. Ice on the cake is this workers per se will not give you complaint. These people will go and ask, they will say, yes, I'm getting. Because my Selvaraj used to be the plant man. He got cordial relation. It's a tough relation. His leadership style is different. He got a very cordial relationship. So whatever he will say, they will say. And then he's very tough with the ladies. So the family members like that he's controlling no nonsense in the plant. That ladies are secured, taken care of, nobody can bully them or all those things. This guy was ruthless. He will fire and beat, all those kind of in their interest. So the families were very happy. Selvaraj will take care of no nonsense in the. So these two benefits are going. Now, how do you manage this? Any question? Any solution? Now, have you solved Manesar case or not? I'll just go through my PPT, which is already covered. We'll just go through it once again. In this particular case, how will you handle? Anyway, all intelligent guys, tell me. You're not straight road less traveled. How do you go this way, that way, and not get carried away, not get caught? How will you do that? Tell me. I think I should stop recording. I'm not supposed to teach you this unethical things in the class. Tell me, how do you do it? How I did it, I'll tell you. The computers were straight in the entrance gate itself. When the bus comes, big gate, security gate is there. There itself, the computer is there. When the team will come, they take away your computer. And the computer is there in the HR department with all those, this thing, that thing, all those kind of things. So what we did is, we kept 2 parallel computer, 2 parallel payroll, 2 parallel attendance system. Okay. So whenever they come, we wanted to give what system we wanted to give, you give. That's one part of it. So everything is second. It's a very tough job. Having 2 system in the time office, 2 system in the accounts office, 2 system in the HR office, and then synchronizing for actual payment something, for inspection different. It's a different challenge, technically coordinating. Anyhow, you've gone through it. Now, okay, now what is the advantage of that? So we given them the computer which we wanted to give it to them. They're suppose 500 people today they are okay. So we made them that particular, we come to know the particular day they are coming. Instead of 500 people, we allowed them to only come 200, 300 people so that you can manage them little comfortably. They come. So now they will went and ask the people, are you getting? They said, we are getting all comforts, all everything. We are getting more than 10,000. Poor people, they didn't even know all the benefit will not even cost 500, 600. They'll say all those benefits. Then when they get into records, contract labor says minimum salary to be paid. 10,000 rupees means 10,000. It doesn't say you have to pay 10,000 rupees. It says you have to pay minimum salary. So what is the minimum salary? 10,000 divided by 26. How much it comes? Why 26? In a month, as per the Supreme Court, you cannot divide monthly salary by 30. You have to be divided by 26 to get a 1 day salary. You get divide 10,000 divided by 26. 384 is 1 day salary. That is what I am supposed to pay you, not 10,000 rupees I pay you. Suppose you work for 25 days. In that manipulated return register, I will show your presence for 10 days. Are you getting my point, all of you? Right? Because they will see 384 per day to be paid. Suppose you actually work for 25 days means your money will come more. You work for 25 days, your system says you work for 10 days. So 10 days multiplied by 384 will come to how much? Some 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. So then you are complied with the law. But which is not easy all the time. So that time, with that big group, we got away with it. But it's not that easy, and one should not do it. Nowadays, I think awareness is going up, especially this is because most of the ladies, they are also not very particular about the job. They were also used to come for 3 months, 6 months short term. Then they used to go home to some other villages, they got married and things like that. So for them also nothing. It's only 5, 6 months is the fun. I make some money. I don't save money. 5, 6 months, I make some 30, 40,000 rupees. I buy something and go back to my parents or married villages or whatever. But most of the 10 years back, if you go and tell any entry board, I will talk about compliance of labor law, this and that, probably they'll reject you there itself. They will talk you, how can you help me in getting me out of this danger? I know, I don't want your GAN from you, but how do you help? But that cannot happen. Plus companies like Maruti's, Manesar, which has become a so big company, public company, so large company, and they could have done it initially for some time. They should not allow it for a long time to come back. Okay. Now this case, anything else? This please go through these slides. Read it so that we recapture it again. Read, guys. I'll show one by one. Clear this objective? Story, though, you know the story, whatever story. What is the cultural issues? The second was a major issue. And government was also not supporting. Second, cultural issues. Third, issues in this case. Maybe some duplication between your objectives and issues and conclusions. Online students, are you able to read?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
please.
sir.
Yes,
Please
sir.
read. Yeah. Then LL means labor law. Then that's it. So this case is solved or not solved? Do you have to read again? Okay. I'll also tell you one or two positive incident which happened in my life. I was once a CEO of a sugar mill. The sugar mill even now goes through a lot of financial problems because it's predominantly controlled by the government. In the sense, when they have to buy the raw material, which is sugar cane, the price is fixed by the government. You cannot go and buy at your own place. Any product you buy, but the government will say you have to buy at this price, whichever is bad quality of sugar cane also you have to buy. There itself your profitability goes for a task. and the final product is sugar. They will not allow the sugar price to go up. When the sugar price goes up, these guys will not get a vote. Especially Maharashtra was dominating in the sugar belt and all those things, which is a major big state in India. So they will see both sides. Your raw material cost will always be high. Your selling products will always be low. So the company cannot get into profitability. This was the scenario of one group in which I was a CEO. The sugar factory works seasonal. 6 months, full 1,000 people will work. After the 6 months, only 5, we call it seasonal permanent. Some people come only for the season, and some people are throughout the year. The off-season people, they repair and maintain. They remove your boiler, tubes, and turbines and mills. They repair and do all those kind of things. They will prepare for 6 months so that the plant is ready for the next season. So it so happened that during the off-season, the salary has to be paid 7th of the May. As per the Payment of Wages Act, if we don't pay the salary by 7th of the May, it's legally punishable. So in that factory, we could not pay. So the misunderstanding was brewing. Okay. So now how you can transparently handle in a straightforward manner without getting to politics? How did I handle it? And we had some money, but we wanted to give that money to ordering for the boiler tubes. Most of the engineers, you understand, boiler tubes money have to be paid in time so that it comes and the boiler can be repaired. So the choice was if to pay to the employee salary in time, boiler tube money will not go in time, the plant cannot get started season in time. So we thought of playing. So there's a lot of murmuring. So I didn't allow anybody. I called all those 500 people. I just straight away addressed it. That by not paying your salary, by 6, legally wrong, morally wrong, and I fail as your guardian. Okay, straight, surrender to them. Legally, you can go to the court and sue me. Morally, I fail, and I feel ashamed that I'm not able to pay you salary. This is a fact. You don't get into plus and minus. Now I have money. I want to use that money for giving boiler advance. I will pay your salary after a week. Now you decide what you want. Or you come up with some other suggestion. Some other suggestion means that all of you don't take. All of you take some advance. Or some people, more urgently required people do it. Just I left it. I said, just this is not it. Now I'm not going to discuss this, negotiate you. You will decide it. Just half an hour, 1 hour bhashan. Some people will say, who, and all those things. Don't get carried away by that. You communicate your message clearly. This is a fact. I have money. If all of you come in 2 hours, 4 o'clock, your time office token will be given for your salary pay. If you still think about capital. So if you play this kind of state game, they also understand. And you don't allow the union people to. Then the outcome is that, yes, I could use, if not 100%, 60% of the money I could use for boiler. 40% of the money we paid some people full salary, some people paid some advance, without any labor unrest getting created. But what is the story behind it here? Be genuine, be clean. Don't try to be chalaki with the workers. And if you do that, then the union people are waiting for you to make mistake. And if you do this kind of thing, they don't like you. People used to come and tell me, sorry, you are killing our life, union life. Because you are being so transparent, we are not able to play with your workers. So if you are able to do, if there are genuine reasons, take them into confidence and genuinely take them into confidence. Don't try to be this. This is one issue. The other issue I all told you, when they are trying to get into trying to rough you, that you have to pay more than the law. Step down now, down. I'll do whatever you like. And I don't know whether I told you, one more incident, I have been threatened. Some local guy, they threatened to kill me. Did I tell you this story? You see, the contract labor in the same complex. We had a big complex, chemical, distillery, sugar and everything. I was a resident director. And that time they used to see me, I was 35. They used to see this guy, a young Madrasi guy and IIT guy, he wants to run the management here. We'll see, the local guys. That was the politics. I was treated as a Madrasi and IIT guys. He thinks that IIT guy is too big. We will see what we can teach. The local external guys. His problem was he wanted to engage a lot of people, his own people as a permanent, because a local MLA and kind of people as a gunda. And also he wanted to take a lot of contract job to do it, which I never allowed, not because I didn't like him. As per the process, we are not allowed. So he was one of the, he had grievance, this guy is not allowing, and all those things. So one day, my driver, my place to Gorakhpur station, 26 kilometers, he left me in that station and gone back. He was a Pandey, he was a Brahmin, simple guy, my driver. They caught hold of him on the way. They said they've taken Ganga Jal water and all. No, we are going to kill your boss, Bhaskaran, when he comes back. Openly threatened. His name was Kansham Singh, Kansham Yadav. Like here, they're also the community, Yadavagi community. They said, when he comes back, we'll kill. My driver, though, poor Brahmin guy, he got really threatened. I took those days, the communication was also not that mobile shomile and all. So next day I got to know, oh, this is a threat and all. I said, no problem, I'll come back. I come back after 3 days. Everybody was tense. That guy was known, Gunda. Kansham Yadav was a known Gunda. He's a local guy. He's local, politically connected with the politicians and all those things. He will come in a bullet. And he was our employee also. And he will never used to come to work. He will come in his bullet, straight in the, he will enter the time office, go around and go back. All the chief engineer, chief chemist, everybody will take care of him. That kind of situation he created. So, and the worst point of is, I had a chief security officer, was a retired police officer, very highly rated police. I thought he'll take it. Even he was telling, sir, don't do this thing, they will kill you, do this thing, that thing. I said, nothing, don't. When he comes next time, make sure that he comes once in 3 days. And big campus, time office could be half a kilometer further. Once he enters that, lock it. He should not be able to get out of it. And then tell him he has to meet me. And my block was next block. I was on the 3rd floor and all those things. The Rai was a security officer. He said, sir, you are doing a wrong thing. This thing, I'm your guardian, mentor. You are not understanding the local culture. Here, things are worst, blah, blah, all those, whatever threatening he could, he did. I said, no, don't worry. You just send that guy. So it's a lot of difficulty. They got hold of him. I was on the 3rd floor. And I said that nobody will come along with me to my room. I will only handle him separately. I had a big room, oval kind of table. I taken out my pistol, kept it on the. I also had, knowing this kind of structure, I already had my license, revolver, gun, everything. Apart from my own gunman, and I had my own. So his name Kansami has come. He come with a white kurta pajama. He looked at me like this. You are doing like this. All this. I said, Kansam. I told them not to keep any chair also for him. Big oval kind of table. I'm sitting this side, no chairs. And nobody will come. Only he has to come. He has come. I just taken it, my pistol. Like in cinema, you see, na? In the cinemas and all, I also played with my pistol. I said, Kansham, I'm told you wanted to kill me. Okay. I mean, how you have to be tough, where you have to be tough. I'm not trying to price me, how you have to be tough, where you have to be. I said, Kansham, whatever you said, with me, 10,000 crore companies back me. It's not Bhaskaran. It is not a Madrasi, it's not an IIT. 10,000 work group of companies behind me. I am one of the board of directors. I can spend 5 crore rupees to get you killed and nobody can catch us. I was playing that and telling that. You wanted to kill, na? If you wanted to kill, you will go to jail. But if I kill you, I will not go to jail. Because 10,000 crore company behind me, politics behind me. I can spend crores of rupees and get you washed away like that. Then that guy got little. No, then he was slightly, no, you are, I could see his balance, body balance and all those kind of. Then I said, you are keeping gun, na? I'm also keeping gun. So we'll make you to, I'll shoot in my leg and I'll shoot in. You try to, all those drama and all those. Then that guy is coming. Then I said, now if anybody kills me, I've already filed FIR with the police station, police commissioner, everybody, this is the copy, you take the copy. And in which I return you as a prime accused. By mistake, if anybody else also kills me, na, or even if I die, you will go to jail. So now you become a security guard. Correct? So I took the tough stand. Now you will not believe, not only that guy, that you people don't know that Bihar, UP border and all, a lot of small criminal, not a big criminal, small criminal. All those criminals, they started thinking me, I'm a big criminal. And nobody would come to the campus, nobody will ask for contract salary, nobody will see anything. When we go to, outside and all, the moment they see our car or security guard and all, they'll run away. We become a big gunda. So what I'm saying, where you are right, where you have to communicate effectively. You cannot exploit people. You cannot make a groupism and then try to divide. No, that you cannot do. Here we were right, we are doing. Wherever workers are right, like I told in one more bonus case in Punjab, that they've already made a mistake of paying more than the law. Law says 8.33, maximum 20. You don't have to pay. But already the management before to me, they already paid 23%. Now when I took charge, immediately after 3 months, this issue has come. Everybody watching to see, let's see whether the CEO is going to be failure or successful. this labor issue will itself put you, no? All other things will get it. Then I was very smart. Then I called all those people. Only there also I did one very smart thing. There are 3 unions: Punjab, UP, Bihar. 1,000 people, 3 unions. All state people were working in the plant. And each one of them, they have their inter-union rivalry. So each one wanted to meet you and then they show to the other union, I'm close to the CEO. That was another issue they were creating it. So I made it a point, I will not see any one of you alone. They were unhappy, this thing, that thing. No CEO has behaved like that. This is nonsense. CEO is not meeting us. I said, I'm not saying not meeting. I will meet all 3 of you together. You select 3 people or 100 people from each one of you. We'll go to the ground and have a meeting. Or if you have 10 people, we can have a meeting in the office. One condition is I will not see you alone. All of you come together. Then all of you come with a return your points to me. You'll give it to me. You know what happened? It's a very smart moment. When finally they yielded, they selected. I said, you select whosoever you want. 5 people, 15 people, they've come. So I told my HR guy and all, the moment they come, very lavishly look after them. Tea, coffee, this and that. I will come after 10-15 minutes. You guys talk to them jovially, all those kind of things, diffuse them, give them all those kind of things, and take back their grievances. When they seen all the grievances, out of all the 3 guys, 80% same with all 3. If I've not taken that one, you deal with one, the other guy will create another one. The third guy will create another. Yeah, what you got everybody together and got everything in writing in advance. When you go through that, 80% same issue in all the 3. So we tackle it only this 80%. Out of 80%, 10-20%, we announced it and we didn't allow them to get out of the room, make all the 3 guys to sign it. The advantage is when they go out, they try to divide and rule. Oh, this union was bought by the management. I did for them. I did this thing. So I cut all the communication nonsense, what they could have done it, closed it. That. Clear. So when they called for a bonus, that time I could not have been tough. I could have been really in a soup. And I said, no, they wanted, we declared 22, they wanted 26. We had 1 round, 2 round of joking, humor, this and that. We delay. There's a communication called indirect communication. What is not to be decided, you delay. Keep on talking nonsense. Have a meeting. Somewhere you have to be clear and focused, come to the point and clear it. Somewhere you have to beat the bush around so that it goes on. 2 meetings, 3 meetings. So it gets diffused. So we got it. Then finally we yielded it, went on. So the point is, what is the lesson I want to say? Where you want to delay, where you want to be lenient, where you have to be tough, where you have to comply, where you have to low compliance, where you have to more compliance. If you know all those nuances, strategy wise, skill wise, nobody can beat you. You can go on. I used to tell the union association people, you send me to any industrial relation issue, any factory, not our industry, any factory, I'll go and solve it. We used to have association, chemical association, like Confederation of Industry and all. In all the places I used to say. But nothing like that. If you are like a doctor, if you are like to go in to understand, you can solve it. That's clear. Over. Any other questions? Now what is next? Your question paper, right? Huh? Legally. Okay, now your question paper, yeah. Guys, online. There is going to be, I have already given 3 sets of question paper to the examination department. So which one they will send, we don't know. That's why I have to give you broadly all the questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Still, it will make your life easier, comfortable. First thing is elimination. Whatever we discuss detail about the case studies, Southwest Airlines, this case study, all those things will not come. Okay. This is for your learning purpose. Okay. Let me make it very clear. One thing is all this detail, Southwest Airlines or this case study and whatever we discuss will not going to come. I made it sure. Because that will come, it will be difficult for you guys. So the elimination point, this is all for learning purpose you did. 2, in your question pattern, C section is more important. 45 marks in C section. Okay, which is called case-let. Case-let means 1.5 page, some of the small thing will come. There'll be 2 questions down. Case-let. C section, out of 100 marks, C section is 45%. If you have done reasonably well, if I given you reasonably good marks in 2 assignments, if you do reasonably well with the C section and AB section, whatever you remembered in class teaching, which I hope both of us done reasonably well as a teacher and student, there is no need to panicky. Are you getting my point? Because C-section is a common sense kind of thing. Coming to that C-section also, there are 6 caselets, which I will forward to one of you guys. I have to shortlist and give it to you guys. You study that 6 of caselets, maybe 10 pages. Any one will likely to come. That will take care of your 45% of mark. Even if by chance it doesn't come also, don't worry. Use your common sense, you will get marks. Okay. Elimination also, I told you. Don't get into all the difficult portion. I'm not taking. Now, what is likely to come? Third person, right? Start from the beginning. You can start writing the questions. The questions could be, what is HRM? Define HRM. Define HRM, comma, define transactional HRM, define transformational HRM, define strategic HRM. Could be any one of this kind of questions, right? Then again, what are the roles of HR professional? Then HRM is a line or staff function. Line is a, the question could be HR is a line function or HR is a staff function. And I'll continue with this thing. Go through all the slides. In the first slide of transactional HRM, the second is the job description, third is training and development, fourth is PMS. Maximum, if you go through these 4 slides again, maximum questions will come from there only. I uploaded 4 PPT slides in LMS. That's why I said elimination there. Leave manager, leave sustenance, all those things. You go through that. First one is there is a transformational HRM, one first slide. Then second one is on job description, job specification. Third is on training and development. Fourth is on PMS. You go through those slides, one part of it. Again, you continue with the questions. Coming to that second part of question, what is job description? What is job specification? What is KRA? What is KPI? What is recruitment? What is selection? Because why I'm giving little broader, because we don't know which question paper will come to you. Even I don't know. Though I set all the 3, they can pick up any one. Examination department. Okay, recruitment and selection, recruitment, the interview methods, selection methods. Selection methods. That comes out the second part of it. Coming to the training and development. Differentiate between training and development. What is training need analysis? What is training process? Training need analysis. What is training process? What is training and development? What is training evaluation, especially that Kirkpatrick's model? You remember we discussed reaction learning and things like that. Kirkpatrick's training evaluation. This takes care of your training. Fourth comes to PMS. What is performance management system? The process of PMS. Differentiate between performance appraisal and performance management. What are the methods of PMS system? What are the halo effects of PMS? Sorry? What is performance system? The differentiate between performance appraisal and performance management. Right? What are the methods of performance management? What are the halo effects, HALO, halo effects of PMS? What are the strategies for effective PMS? These are the broad question. The wording may be different, but nothing more than that this can come. Okay, this text, all these things are there in your slides. 4 slides only go through. Right, in the LMS already loaded. What you don't have to read also I told you. Much more is loaded, but at least these 4 things go through, you'll be able to do that. Then some few questions can come on IR, very negligible, which you can leave it like, what is collective bargaining? What is, write down, what is collective bargaining? What is disciplinary action? What is inquiry procedure? Inquiry procedure. When you suspend people, no, disciplinary action and inquiry procedure will almost be same. Collective bargaining, inquiry procedure, disciplinary action. Again, the elimination, I will not get into so difficult of what is workman, what is the classification, all those things I will not ask. Because I ask, all of you will fail. That also. Correct, na? Have I understood you people correctly or not? All right, good. So I'll ask you a simple question which you will be able to answer. Okay. That's what I'm giving you elimination also side by side. What all I will not ask. What is that we covered? Tell me. That's all 1000-page books. What is that? Be smart, be confident. Yeah. Like the way you understood to now you can analyze any case study easily or not. Not get bogged down. Oh my God, how will I read? The faculty has given such a big case study. Nothing like it, right? Now this case study, for example, this I given some 7-8 slides, na? It can be done in 2 slides, you know. It can be done 2 slides. That is a skill I want you to learn. The moment you learn this skill, nobody can stop you to become a CEO. Which is what many people, conceptual knowledge, they don't learn. They beat the bush around. Very difficult to think and deep. The moment you guys get this skill, competency, nobody can stop you in success. Either you are a CEO or you are running your own business or you are running your own theater, whatever you call it. So please try to learn that. All the time I've been trying to teach you only that guy, not that subject learning, your competency. Any questions on the question paper? On the caselets, I will try to give it to any one of you. Contact me. There are 6 caselets are there. Which I never dealt all those caselets in the class. Because those all small things. And we never had time to deal that small caselets. I dealt only with a big case which you can learn. Out of that 5, 6, even if it doesn't come, you don't read, it doesn't make sense. You can always answer. And that is going to carry you a lot many. Out of 100, 45 is going to be only there. I don't know why you guys are getting tensed about exam. Why you read 1000 pages of book that what is your textbook? The textbook is already in LMS, which is Kerry Dessler by Human Resources Management. So you read that book and come for exam. Yeah, and there's one more book also there, Armstrong. Both books read, it will be 1000 pages. Huh? Okay, now all set and done. Is it easy? Only study those 4 slides, whatever sets of slides we have. This question, keep the slides in mind. Be confident. Don't write more. Write less points. If you write more, I'll give you less mark. If you want to punish me, I'll punish you. Right? Don't write more. Correct, na? Acha, then coming to these 2 assignment, please upload in time. If you don't upload in time, you will not be allowed to upload. It will disenabled. I don't have authority to enable. You have to go to only Rajan sir to get it enabled. Please upload it in time. Second assignment, I think still many of you have not uploaded. And each one of you have to upload. Not the team. Each one of you have to upload. So then only we can complete the marks. First assignment we already completed, I think. by and large the marks. Second assignment, since most of you have not done it, uploaded it, we could not do it. It's a tough job for me, you know that. Each one of the paper I have to see and give marks. I'm taking the help from my family. Okay, it's not easy. Oh, right, nah, 2 assignments. There could be some grievances in assignment. Don't make it a sake of taking grievances. If there is some cross clerical mistake or something, please let me know. Okay, you write to me, but don't be ambitious. Sir, I've been given 25, I should have been given 26. Don't get into that. If there is serious affecting you, let me know, I will correct it. But please be matured. You are getting 25, 26, don't make it an issue. Out of 30. Yeah, if it out of 30 you are getting 18, 20, 22, 23, you take it. It's purely up to you. I will correct it. But be also matured and reasonable. When you got a reasonable mark, don't raise it. Am I making sense or not? Right, huh? Because I also want to make sure that you guys get good marks in 2 assignments. So that the other question is that if you get good marks in 2 assignments, even your exam you do moderately well, also you'll get a good mark. Because again, everything is converted into 100. You know that 100 marks also converted into 40. This 30, 30, 60 plus 40, 100. So this 2 assignment strategically makes a lot of impact. If you've done it, you already cleared the exam. Whatever you remember right and whatever without studying also gone right, you will clear. So don't get into tension. Be confident. Huh? Section C is very important. For section C, how can you prepare for that? Tell me, section C. That I can treat. Otherwise, any caselet comes with all your common sense and whatever learned it, you write it down, which is not which will not be difficult. That's what I removed all the difficult cases. You know, instead of giving caselets, section C, I could ask you question. Tell me the learning from Southwest Airlines, which we taught in the class. Then maybe a little more difficult for you. Tell me the strategic implication of Southwest Airlines. It may be a little difficult for you. So we give you 1.5 page small caselet so that you can read in short time and do it. Okay. What else? Any questions? Yeah. Now you can ask any question, madam. 15.
Sir, what are the minimum marks we need to get passed?
You already passed, man.
Thank you.
Sir, all PPTs are not there, sir. In the notes.
I told you to which PPT is not there. The first one is what? Transaction, job description, job specification, job analysis PPT is there. It is there. You will see one by one. Now good. Open. You want me to open? Huh?
Sir, if you don't mind once.
I'll open it. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
In the LMS, it is there. I have to ask them to come back. This labor law new code is there, which you don't have to study. Huh? We have not told the questions are not coming. Yeah, this is in LMS. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. The second one, compliance, I will not ask you question, don't worry. Which is more into IR and labor law issues. Okay. And job analysis one, yes, you read. Okay. Then ABC company, it's more about KRA KPA, which you maybe one question will come, but by studying that, it will not help you. You already worked out an assignment on KRA KPA. So you don't have to study that one also. In this first one, compliance part of it, you don't have to go through it. Okay. The labor code also you don't have to go through. This one, recruitment selection. That you go through. Okay. This one, business outcome through HR.
Okay, sir.
Training and development. The PMS is missing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, basically this 3-4 months. Training and development, business outcome through HR, recruitment and selection, job analysis. 4, PMS is missing from here. I will try to upload.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you.
And what you don't have to study, I already told you. Not more into labor law compliance, labor code, labor law compliance, manager case study, South Australian case study, Portman's case study. All those things are very detailed. You are not studying, I'm not asking you a question. Simple. What else?
Rest all the questions are from the PPT slides itself. No, sir.
By
Like,
and large, I given you already questions. I've already given you PPT. I've already told you what is not going to come. That is not loaded. I will try to. So
sure,
all that
sir.
I have to do is that 6 case studies. Then I have to give you
Performance.
performance PMS.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, if I get that one, you are through. So I locate that file and send it to you guys. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I had one small doubt. Yesterday, marketing sir told for the section A, we have to write half a page, and for section B, 1.5 page. Is it the same here? Because you told we have to write less.
Guys, listen. Section A, one question, don't write more than 4 sentences. Section A, each question, 5 marks question. You don't have to write blah, blah, blah. Write 4 sentences, 5 sentences. I am telling you, I'm the boss for HR.
Okay.
Come on. See, again, you guys used to write a case study 20 slides. No? Now you believe it can be done in 2 slides, right? 6
Yes.
easily done, but if you're extra smart, it can be done in 2 slides. So now, the same case, our writing also. You can write section A, 1 question, 1 page also. But can be written in 4 or 5 sentences also. Small is beautiful. Okay. Section B, maybe half a page or 1 page at the most. Clear? Section C, there will be 2 questions. Maybe both put together 3 page. Or 2 page, 2 to 3 page. See, here it matters the points, right? Not that Ram ka kahaniya. What I will do with yours. Okay,
Yeah.
now all the doubts are coming now. Come on, ask all the doubts. Any other doubt? See, this much I have done for you guys. Come on, students. What you are seeing, though, so much has been prepared for you to deliver. Huh? So much, then I give it in a capsule. Okay, any other question? And if you want your books PPT is also there, which you don't have to read. Like your book PPT goes like this. You know? Chapter 1, chapter 2, there are 11 set of PPTs are there. I don't suggest you to go through, there's no need. But come on guys, your book PPT goes like this. Come on, read. It will be very interesting. Your life will go for a task. This is a book PPT. It will be like this 11 sets of PPT. That also loaded. If you want, you are most welcome to go through. Correct? This is in LMS. I'll give you all those 11 chapter PPT if you want. Huh? No, for your future reference or something. For that Gary Destler, I got the all PPT from the author itself. In LMS it is there. It's not there. I'll make sure it is there. It's in my folder. So this is one chapter PPT by your book. This is your book. Sorry? The PPT. I'll make sure you'll get it. You want to study? Okay. So I will upload the book PPT, PMS, and the caselets. Upload or contact somebody, I'll send it to you, then you can share amongst us. Yeah. Then you make sure everybody goes. It doesn't come to me again, sir. Any other question? Sorry? That also can be done. Maybe I can do that, don't you? Guys, you see this? Come on, see. Hello. See this section A will be like this. Section A question will be like this, for example. Oh, this is corporate governance. He'll go mad with that. I'll show you where. So you want to make your life more difficult? Next time, probably I'll come in the corporate governance paper. What we have not covered is Portman Hotel, which I wanted to cover. The PPT is loaded, which we could not do it. I hope we covered PMS in the class, right? We covered, huh? PPT.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I'll today itself I'll locate. Too many files are there. I don't know where I keep. I have to give you PMS. I'll give you that 6 caselets.
Yes, sir.
Book PPT. Question pattern. You have not seen the question pattern? I can show you question pattern. It's there now. So this is your question paper pattern. Come on, guys. This is your pattern. Section A, for example. Come on, have a look at it. These questions may come again. This is one set of question which is given. This section A. There could be 4 questions like this. Out of that, you're supposed to write 3. Okay. Out of that, you write 3. Section B will be 4 out of 5. The caselet will come like this. This is one of the case out of 6. It will be just 1.5 page. At the end, you will have 2 questions. That's 1 question. I'll think over whether I should give you guys some. This is what we've seen. This is another set of question. Madam, you want to break my hand? This is not an LMS. Okay. This is second set of questions. These are all actual questions given to the examination department. Huh? This is the caselet. I've already shown you. You missed the bus. So I've shown you already. This is all 3 combined. This is second. This is again a caselet. SHRM, collective bargaining, training and development, HR trends and technology. That's 1 question you note down. HR trends and technology. Okay, guys, enough, yeah. Enough now. You can manage now. Anything else? Tell me.
Sir, this 100 HRM